fantasy slash roman-tasy. I'm still trying to decide whether or not that's a real genre. Whatever it is, I don't care. I'm living for it. It's consuming my life at the moment, outside of like my children and my husband. Every spare chance I get right now has gone to reading, and what makes reading even more exciting at the minute is that since we moved to the UK, we've been living in my father-in-law's house until we get our own. We didn't realize it was going to take us like 10 months to decide on something or to get something that fit us and our family. So we got a call about a week and a half ago saying that we will be closing on our new house in like 28 days or less. So pending everything goes well, then I will be setting up my new filming space, which by the way I'm in a soundproof, and we are not going to be on a main road either, so that's exciting. But I'll also have a whole floor that's just my library, and I will have these little nooks to read in and my shelves, my bookish stuff. I'm over the moon, and I'm hoping that nothing goes wrong. But in addition, and I can't wait to like film a tour, which could take months, but I can't wait. I'm so excited because the entrance to the library, it's going upstairs. I want to do a wardrobe, right? That you have to open the doors and then the stairs go up. But you have to pull out the two bottom drawers of the wardrobe to step up to the stairs inside. It's gonna be so neat. It's gonna be wild. I can't wait. So yeah, that's the plan. Whether it goes to plan, well, you know, life is not always compliant. So anyway, let's jump into these books. The first series I'm going to show you that I purchased was inspired by BookTok. It's a global phenomenon now. And I saw it on Google News. In all honesty, it said it was going to be the next Game of Thrones, and I was like, no. Because if you don't know, which you probably don't, so I'm going to tell you, I am the biggest dragon nerd. I love all things dragon. Yeah, it's a bit of an obsession, in all honesty, that I don't think I've ever shared with you, but there it is. So when they said this was going to be like Game of Thrones, and it's about dragon riders, I was like, yep, I've got to try it. I was a little nervous that it was going to be overhyped, but honestly, I am fangirling at this book series so much that it's probably wrong. Like, to the point that I talked about it so much to my best friend and my husband that now they're reading it. This is my husband's bookmark. He started reading it. He was watching like this Viking show, like this whole series, and I asked him the other day, like literally yesterday or the day before, hey, are you still watching that show? He's like, I'm reading. And I thought it was funny because he is so into it. This morning when I woke up, he was downstairs with a cup of coffee reading. So yeah, it shouldn't take him long to get through this, really. It's just that when we do get time, we get like maybe 10 minutes to read, and then the kids are wanting something, so. But it's so good. I've already read this one. I'm on the second. And I'm just gonna read the inside to you, otherwise I'll just keep blabbing on about how much I love it rather incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. The most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Basquiat has an agenda, so sleep with one eye open, because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. When I tell you, like, this thing had me, like, biting my nails on the edge of my seat the whole way through. Oh, I am shook. Like, it got me back into loving fantasy. So, thank you, Rebecca Yaros, for this series. It's ridiculously good, and I thought the second book would slow down, and like maybe I would kind of get bored with it, because that tends to happen like in sequels. But no, nah. Iron Flame is 10 times more intense, more thrilling, more crazy. Like, I have had so many heart attack moments where I'm just like, like literally last night in bed next to my husband, I'm like grabbing his arm with my fingernails. Like, he's like, is it a good part? And I'm like, you have no idea. Like, it's intense. It's so intense. Like, you're just, it's very like Game of Thrones, killing off main characters, wild dragons, with like mixed with like Harry Potter, very magical, like professors that are good, professors that are bad, like everybody has an agenda. It's just, yeah. If you have not started reading this, or if you're a fantasy lover and you've been debating this one, like, debate it no more, friend. You need to read this series. It's my understanding that there's going to be 5 in this series, and that Prime has already picked it up to make it into a TV show. I'm not sure. That makes me nervous though, because I feel like Amazon Prime like will sign something and then 5 minutes later they're canceling it. So I just hope that that doesn't end up being a thing. I hope that they do the series justice. I hope that it doesn't turn out like a Shadow and Bone situation where they give it 2 seasons and it's done. Like, I just really hope the best for this series. I would have been happier if HBO picked it up, or like maybe even FX, but nonetheless, I'm just gonna continue to hope for the best. I'm not gonna read the inside sleeve of this one because I'm afraid that I'll give stuff away to myself. I don't ever like to read the inserts of a sequel or additional books in a series unless I finish the book before it. So, for the sake of wanting to make sure that I give nothing away from the 4th wing before you get to Iron Flame, yes, I'm not going to read it. However, we've got a Xaden quote that says, "The first year is when some of us lose our lives. The second year is when the rest of us lose our humanity." It's so good. Oh, speaking of which, before I move on to the next series, I'm fangirling it so much that I've already bought gear. Do you see this? I've got my Basquiat person house, the rebel faction. T-shirt. It's got the dragons on the back. I love it. My husband's like, that'd be a really cool tattoo. I was like, yeah, sure would. But yeah, definitely 5 stars from me. Love it so far. The second series that I have to share with you. Oh, P.S. The first 2 books are out. The third one, Onyx Storm, is coming January of 2025. So, just so you know, the whole series isn't out yet. Okay, so the second one and the third book that I purchased, the second series, third book, is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And can we be like super real for a minute? Like, fantasy books have some of the best covers, do they not? They're always just so like intriguing. Like, the fantasy books are always the ones where I'm like, ooh, that looks like it's gonna be good just based on a cover. And it could be awful, but the cover is just banging. Anyway, I have already jumped into this one as well. I have a problem, I know. And I'm loving it, honestly. So far, I'm really enjoying it. This has 3 in the series. It's supposed to be a trilogy. And I keep calling it a series because there's like a 1.5 book in the middle called Powerful. And this one is supposed to be the perspective of like her bestie, Adina. And so it's kind of like this one happened within this one. But it was like, it's not considered part of the trilogy, but it's still out there. And so, heads up, there's technically like 4 in this one. But they say that there's 3. So, that being said, with it being a trilogy, only 2 of the books from the trilogy are currently out. So we've got Powerless. It says, hunted, hunter, destined for each other. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilya's princess, Kai Azar, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Peyton is. Completely ordinary. This one's definitely, like, from what I'm like gathering from it, it's a little bit like Hunger Games, in all honesty. Only like at first you don't really see like the whole like rebel part of it. It's more of like the plagues, right, that took a lot of them out. But and then there's the trials where they like earn money and like a way to be more powerful and blah blah blah. But so far I'm really enjoying it. There's like this great like sarcasm that the main character has that I just love. I started originally listening to this on Audible because I have an Audible subscription. But I found that if I don't like the person reading the book, I won't finish it. So I started this on Audible. Really was enjoying it until like the person that there's 2 perspectives. There's Peyton's perspective and there's Kai's perspective. So it'll be like one chapter is Peyton, the next chapter is Kai. The girl that was reading Peyton was really entertaining. The guy reading Kai, fine. But then they started to like almost like voice each other's characters and it got real corny. Like the girl that reads for Peyton was would start like reading Guy's parts, like when he was in her chapter, like, and then Guy said, and I was like, then the dude started to do Peyton's parts, and I'm like, no, I can't, like, just read it, like, otherwise it's really corny. So I stopped listening to it on Audible and started just reading it. But because I'm so in Iron Flame right now, I had to stop. So I'm gonna finish Iron Flame and then jump into this one again. But so far, I'm loving it. It's really fun, quirky, good times. And then obviously there's our Friends version or side. I'm not sure what this is going to be like and whether or not this intertwines too much with this, so that's why I don't really want to read the back like I was telling you, because I'm just afraid that I'll find stuff out that I don't want to know yet. You know, I like surprises in books. I like it to be like, oh, that's exciting, I didn't know that. I was gonna say third one, but this is actually the second book in that trilogy called Reckless. The epic and sizzling installment in the globally best-selling Powerless series. So as you can see, Powerless and Powerful are on the back of this one. Again, I won't read it because I don't want to know what's happening. But these covers, love. Yeah, so looking forward to it. Okay, next up, we've got 3 books left out of my 8. And this one is one that I have heard so much rave about. And I'll tell you what, I'm fairly certain I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses before. But I've not finished the series and I don't remember any of it, so I'm going to read it again. I know this is extremely popular. I have such a difficult time though reading about fairies. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Tinkerbell from Peter Pan, like growing up on that and then like trying to like convince myself that fairies can be like hardcore masculine characters that like turn into wolves and stuff. I don't know. It's like I can't get my mind out of it, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's wild. Don't judge me. But yeah. So I'm trying to like get past that to love this series and any series that has fairies in it. For those of you that don't know what this is about yet, Feyre is a huntress. The skin of a wolf would bring enough gold to feed her sisters for a month, but the life of a magical creature comes at a steep price, and Feyre has just killed the wrong wolf. Taken prisoner by a high fate lord, Feyre learns that her masked captor is hiding even more than his piercing gaze suggests. But as Feyre's feelings for Tamlin begin to burn through every warning she's heard about his kind, a shadow is falling across the land, and if Feyre cannot fight it, she will lose everything. I don't know how I feel yet. I've got a lot of Sarah J. Maas books. Lies, I don't have a lot. I have like 3 Sarah J. Maas books. Like one from every series. So I have one from Crescent City, this one from ACOTAR, and then one from Throne of Glass. And Throne of Glass is really the one that I want to read. But I feel like I need to pick up Assassin's Blade first because it's the prequel. If you've read these series, please tell me, especially with Throne of Glass, if I need to read Assassin's Blade first before I read Throne of Glass and then Crown of Midnight. Like, I need to know. Because I'm like, nope, I gotta read Assassin's Blade first, and for some reason it's crazy expensive over here for Assassin's Blade, where like in America I can find it for $3. Here it's like a minimum of £16. stop. I get on my rants and off topic. Yeah. So I'm gonna jump into this one at some point. Okay, so the second to last book that I have for you in this book haul is the third in a trilogy. I read the first one in this trilogy, like, I want to say it was a couple years ago. And at the time, the second book was a bit pricey, so I just picked that up, I want to say last year. But I really enjoyed the first book. I haven't read the second one. And then I found that the third one came out in April, and it was a good price on Amazon, so I picked it up. So it is Children of Blood and Bone, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and Children of Anguish and Anarchy. Oh, the covers of this trilogy, like, so beautiful. So beautiful. All of them, like, I just find them captivating. And almost equally as captivating, I always look back at the author because, you know, I've written books, and so I just have this thing where I like always read the About Me section and want to know about the person writing the books. And can we not just agree that this woman is so beautiful? Like, I think Damietta Yummy is just gorgeous, and I like picture her as one of the characters in the book, which is great to put like a little face to a little character, you know, a little face, little character. Love it. Alright, again, I don't read the inside sleeve. Don't want to give anything away. New allies rise. The blood moon nears. Sele faces her final enemy, the king who hunts her heart. And like, there's like a little romance in this. There's powers. If you haven't checked out Children of Blood and Bone, I highly recommend. I'm wondering if this one is going to be turned into a series. I thought it was. Yep. Tammy's Legacy of Orisha trilogy is being developed into a feature film with Paramount Pictures. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. It seems like it'll be really good, so I'll definitely be seeing that one. I do recommend this one as well. Okay, so the last book that I picked up in my book haul is one that I had been contemplating for such a long time. I'd been wanting to read this author for a minute, but I just didn't pick it up. And then I saw Haley Jean ASMR put up a short that had quotes from her favorite book. Now, here's the thing about a Haley Jean ASMR rec. I normally don't take recommendations from people very often, like a little bit with a grain of salt, because I have unpopular opinion most of the time. And so when she was talking about her favorite contemporary romance book, and it was Emily Henry, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. I don't like contemporary romance. So when I read it and I loved it, I was like, okay, that's it. I am gonna always take her recs and run with it. So when she said this is her favorite book, I was like, that's it, I gotta pick it up. And it's a fantasy. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I can see why humans succumb to the beautiful nightmare of the court, why they willingly drown in it. I think this is a trilogy too, isn't it? I think. It's an old library book. I bought this one off of Better World Books. And yeah, it must have been from a library somewhere. Swansea Library. Anyway, it says, of course I want to be like them. They're beautiful as blades forged in some divine fire. They will live I hate him so much that sometimes when I look at him, I can hardly breathe. One terrible morning, Jude and her sister see their parents murdered in front of them. The fearsome assassin abducts all three girls and brings them to the world of fairy, where Jude is instilled into the royal court, mocked and tormented for being merely mortal. Jude soon realizes that to survive in this treacherous, dangerous new world, she needs to be as smart, cunning, and deceitful as the Fae themselves. But the stairway to powerful is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all is the infuriating, arrogant, and charismatic Prince Cardon, or Cardon, depending on how you want to say it. Jude must take the utmost care. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I think the second book is like The Wicked King, and then the something Queen. I can't remember, but yeah. I am curious. Curious to see what we've got here. Which ones I'll love, which ones I won't love as much. Please, 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 if you have read any of these books, any of these series, let me know your thoughts. If you've made it this far into the video, then definitely leave me like a stacked book emoji and what your current read is, if you have one. And as soon as I purchase more books, I will definitely share more with you. I may even do a review of these as we go along, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks again so much for coming to hang out with me. I love, love, love talking books. It's my favorite. And I appreciate your company always, always, always. Alright, until next